Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early June 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's going on for my lovely Scorpio people, Scorpio gang in the house. Let's go, my gods. Hope everything's well. But yes, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going right away. Let's rock. Let's see what we got for Scorpio here, please, and thank you. God, right down to business for my friends. Okay, so we're seeing a little bit of strategy, and I will say this up front, Scorpio, this is a very complex oracle card that doesn't show up often for a lot of signs. There's a lot of stuff happening there, a lot of different imagery. So we'll talk about it. Before we do, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this card. So we see this lovely lady sitting there. She's wrapped up in a blanket, sitting next to an orange cat. There's a chessboard in front of her with various different pieces. The queen is in red. The cage next to her has butterflies coming out of it. So what are we to make of all this energy that we have? Initially, I always feel like this is more pronounced, the strategic aspect with the queen, power moves, making moves, planning this, planning that. So some of you might be in that mode, planning for the future. Maybe there's someone around you strategizing or planning, absolutely. But to me, this always feels a little cramped as well, like this card, especially since there's a cage here as well with the butterflies. So maybe some of you are craving some sort of transformation or freedom when we have this card show up in the front end, because those are the big main things I always think about. So whether it is strategy, maybe it's all of the above, right? Hopefully you're not feeling claustrophobic in any sort of way, because there's a lot of energy at play here. So for a lot of the Scorpios, you might be feeling things extra intense in this time. And I know that's a tall order. Like I say every week, I'm part of the Scorpio collective myself. I know we feel things in an intense way, but it might be cranked up a little extra. But let's get into tarot here. We're not gonna, I always say that first card doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote. But yeah, let's get you 3 tarots in the upright. Then we'll get that intuitive juiciness flowing. Shuffle it up here for my Scorpios, please. My gods and spirit team. So last week's reading was a little different, and I will say this, in the recent 2 months, it's been like a run for the ages for the Scorpio collective, because I've been getting so many good readings, positive readings for Scorpio. But last week's reading was titled An Explosive Warning. There was a lot of fiery, volatile type of energy, whether it was people around you, whether it was yourself. Things could have been running quite hot. So that was showing up big time last week. So we'll see what shows up this week. You know, it's always a dice roll. And yeah, let's see what we got. And as you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone around you. Let's get you 3. What do we got for Scorpio this week, my gods? Thank you. Page of Swords. Yeah, strategy, planning, watching, possibly. We have the Page of Swords. I picked this up for you in a reading, I think like 3 or 4 weeks ago, that someone could have been watching your moves intently. So when that card shows up front and center, I mean, it could be conversational, it could be talks. We have a card that could be you right here. We have the Queen of Cups. Talk about lots of different energies. We have lots of court cards, lots of people, lots of energies. Like, this feels like a lot, Scorpio, already. Let's get one more. I try not to get too intuitive just yet, but we got a lot of stuff happening here. One more card for Scorpio, please. So we'll talk about it. This last card is being very, very specific here. Okay. This is going to be layered, my friends. We got the 10 of Cups right here on the back end. So we have a lot of water energy. We have the 2 of Pentacles as a bonus. So we got things to talk about, my friends. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into the juicy intuitive stuff. Now, at first look, first glance, I have to point out that there's 2 cards of the water suit. As Scorpios, we are very comfortable with the water energy. So this is the subtle energies, the emotional energies. Like I said in the very beginning here, there could be a lot of that going on, a lot of that subtle energy, and it could be cranked up and a little intense. And I'm picking that up already, but these are generally seen as positive cards. We have 2 court cards, 10 of Cups. Like, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people. It just feels a little frantic to me right now, Scorpio. But let's go through one by one. Position number 1, the Page of Swords. One of the more interesting pages in the whole entire deck. You see this, it could be an air sign, so Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, depending on what clarifies it. It's the watcher of the tarot deck, so whenever I see this, it's somebody watching and analyzing. So whether you're watching someone or someone's watching you, this page could represent that. The Page of Swords is like the other pages. It's a student, but it's also a messenger, a communicator, a talker, except this one's a little more on the defense. So you might be skeptical or defensive about a specific individual in this time, or someone could be feeling that way towards you. We'll just have to see what's up, but this can be communication or talk-based. And I'm also seeing that with this Queen of Cups, because this is also a card that has little challenges with communication. So these two court cards aren't the most communicative for whatever reason. But in the center, the Queen of Cups, it could be any water sign, in my opinion. So in my simplistic style of reading, it doesn't matter if you're male, female, or anything in between. The Queen of Cups, when clarified, could represent a way you're feeling or something that's coming towards you. The Queen of Cups is very similar to the King, right? It could represent artisticness, creativity. Okay, this is very deep emotional depths that we're seeing here with this card. And I always say that's one of the positives. This is a shoulder you can lean on, someone you could speak to. But with the Queen of Cups, she's not always speaking how she feels. She feels things intensely, but she's not letting it out for whatever reason. So it's interesting that she sometimes struggles with communication. So does this card, this page. Interesting play of energies, because this page looks like it's watching someone. She looks like she's watching the page. We got a lot of stuff happening in this spread. I feel like these cards could be pretty important to the whole overall story. Now, moving to the very back end, we got the Ten of Cups. We're going to have to clarify all this for sure. The Ten of Cups is everything. So we're sticking to some of that really good positive energy we've been seeing for a few weeks. The Ten of Cups is wish fulfillment, having it all, everything you want, everything you need. This is also a card that could represent the family or the home where you live. So when I'm getting various court cards, and we're getting a card that could be more people, there's just a very intense energy around the Scorpio collective right now. But this could be very positive. This could be wins, victories, blessings, you name it. We just have to clarify and see what it could be. Usually a very claimable energy. Now, when we get to the very, very back end, we have the Two of Pentacles chilling as your bonus. This is another little footnote. When we see the Two of Pentacles, what do we think of? We think of harmony. We could think of an influx of money. This is a big card of balance, or things coming to a certain stasis. So with all this going on, a lot of you could feel like you're literally juggling or trying to balance certain things out. But this could be good things coming in, and it could be harmony in some sort of way. So Scorpio, I really want to dive deeper on all this. It seems interesting. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, one more shuffle here for my Scorpios, please. Yeah, a lot of this could just be around communication for sure. But yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Page of Swords. And yes, Scorpio, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Scorpio, you could drop it down in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Page of Swords time. I mean, I honestly think I get my reading skills from my Scorpio placements. I'll keep that between us, though. Let's get in on that Page of Swords. Why is that page here? Why is that page here for my Scorpio? Yikes. Okay. We have the Devil in the upright underneath this Page of Swords. This feels like obsession of some sort, my friends. Okay, you might have someone that's like a little obsessed here. Okay, and I don't want to call out any Scorpios. Maybe there is something you're obsessing about too, possibly. But this could be a big warning, especially with the Devil in this Page of Swords. Like, this is someone that is like locked in. Like, there is some... I'm trying to keep this PG-13, right? But this is a little unsettling here in the front end, okay? Like, especially with the Watcher, the tarot deck. Now, what does the Devil speak about? It could be any toxic thing, right? So maybe you're dealing with a toxic air sign in some sort of way. But the initial thing I felt here is like, this felt like an obsessive individual, all right? Like someone who is either obsessed or jealous or possessive, whatever you want to call it. I'm picking it up here in the front end. And it's like they can't help themselves in some sort of way. Now, if we're talking communication, this could be some sort of communication that goes like extra sideways here, where it just like takes that left-hand turn. So watch out for that. That could be a big warning against communication. So kind of the thing we were seeing last week, the explosive warning, is still somewhat showing up here. But Spirit could be warning you about a very specific individual that might be a little, I don't want to use the word creepy, but obsessed in some sort of way. Let's keep moving on. And you know I rarely speak like that in these readings. I try my best to just give the energies how I see them. I don't like to like belittle, but what I'm feeling here is a little obsessive. I just got to keep it real. So let's go in on that Queen of Cups. Let's see what that Queen of Cups is here for Scorpio. Thank you. Hey, we got our good friend, the King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups, without a beard, showing up right underneath this Queen of Cups. This is absolutely beautiful. So talk about a crazy dynamic of energy, because we have this here in the front end, but this is like perfection in the center. The King of Cups and the Queen of Cups together is soulmate energy. It's soul connection energy as well. It's an energy of completion, because where the Queen lacks, the King picks up the slack. Where the King lacks, the Queen picks up that slack. So it's that beautiful yin-yang we have going on here of completion. Now, this is someone who is completely at ease right here in the center. So we have this like little obsessed toxic energy in the front end. But then this energy right in the center is like, yeah, I'm good. I'm cool. I'm unbothered. Like, yeah, be obsessed if you want. Like, you could watch if you want. I really don't give a shit. Like, pardon my language, but that's how it feels to me in the center. But aside from that, when we're looking at the energy overall, this feels like really good to me. There's good energetic possibilities, especially with the emotional levels in your life. Okay, romantic things, creative things. Even though there's a lot of energy afoot, a lot of court cards, you might be able to take that in stride, process it, and transmute it. It feels very good to me, especially with the King of Cups right here. So it's like night and day, right? It's like a dynamic between this and that. It's night and day. So we're going to move over to the Ten of Cups. We're going to see what's up with that. Take from it what you will. For some of you, this might not be hitting whatsoever, and that's totally cool. You could check your other alignments, but I mean, so like hot and cold back and forth. So let's see what's up with that Ten of Cups. Then we'll do a recap before we get into the shadow card. But that could be a warning in the front end for sure. So many people here, Scorpio. Why are all these people here? We have the Queen of Pentacles in the upright underneath this Ten of Cups. Yeah, more blessings. More blessings, my friend. So it's odd to me because it feels like this energy is like on the outside looking in at all this goodness, all these blessings, all this overflowing abundance, right? And there is that little tinge of jealousy there. Now, if you're a cross watcher, I'm not necessarily saying this is your energy. Like, this could be your Scorpio's energy for all I know. It's all very fluid to what your situations are. But when we have this sticks out like a sore thumb compared to the rest of this energy. The Queen of Pentacles is usually very sturdy, solid, abundant. This is an energy of blessings, like I said, where it could be very similar to the Empress in that sense. But we have almost every single element out here. We don't have fire this week, except, I mean, the devil's earth technically. But when we mix the earth and water, it's that energy of blessing. So once again, there is this win in the end. There's this contentment, happiness, peace, and blessings right on the back end. So obviously, I would claim these energies as opposed to the energy in the front if I were you. But there is somebody on the outside looking in here, okay? And I don't want to say they're ill-intentioned. It just feels like they can't help it for whatever reason. But let's go through and do a quick recap, because there's a lot of energies at play here, like we've been seeing since the beginning. If you kindly look in the box, Scorpio, look at all these court cards. Queens represent the realm of the inner world, so there's so much intensity happening, so many energies at play. So these could be various different people. But in position number one, we have the Page of Swords with the Devil in the upright. I mean, if you ask most readers what that alignment is about, I'm sure they'll say a very similar thing to me, that this does feel like someone who could possibly be a little obsessive or jealous or just watching and they can't help themselves. That's a big vibe, and it is a possible warning about a specific person because it sticks out from the energy of the rest of this reading. Right now, if you're going through issues like that yourself, there are things you can do to remedy this. Like, obviously this energy isn't permanent, right? And we all go through hard times, trials, and tribulations. So if that is your energy, it's okay. You're not a bad person for it, as long as you don't do harm to people. Moving to the center, we have the Queen of Cups with the King of Cups in the upright. To me, this felt like beautiful yin-yang, everything type of energy. Just a completion of some sort. Soul connection, soul bond, and just beautiful energetic abundance. And it feels really good. Where like if you're lacking in something, someone could come in and help you out. But this is on the outside looking in at all this positivity and these blessings. It does feel really good. Even though there could be a lot of energies at play, you're going to take it in stride. And you could work with it and transmute it. On the back end, we have the Ten of Cups with the Queen of Pentacles in the upright. The energy of blessings just overflowing all over on the back end of this reading. So this is all claimable back here, my friends, of things turning out in your favor, turning out well, turning out good. We just got to watch out for this little action right here in the front end. So do with that what you will. Please take a screenshot. I'm going to get you one shadow card here. I mean, this was completely like so hot and cold because this up here was a little bit nerve-wracking, a little scary. And then this is everything on the back end. So this is like one of the quickest flips of energy I've seen in quite a while. But let's see what's in the shadows for you, Scorpio. Real quick. What's in the shadows for my friends, please? My guides and spirit team. And you know me, I like to pull one shadow card at the end. I think it's very introspective. It's a nice thing to do. Just to see whether it's something within us or something we don't quite see. Okay. Yeah, Three of Cups. So more of this water energy showing up once again. So you know it's probably going to be your intensity and your sensitivity to emotions and energies are going to be extra heightened, especially with this in the shadows. But the Three of Cups to me is usually a pretty good card of celebration, happiness, merriment. In the shadows, this could talk about steering clear of group situations, third-party situations, of course, but it's also a warning against over-partying, and the big thing, over-consumption. I'm not saying that's you, but this could represent someone in your life that over-consumes, okay? And I think you get what I mean by that. This is someone that has issues with consumption. And for some reason, it's showing up in the shadows and Spirit might want you to shine light on that, okay? So yeah, Scorpio, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the May subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced in my community tab after this week's fire and air readings. But for the month of June, I'll be giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks out there. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards in this week's reading, which one explains how you're feeling currently right now. Which one are you vibing with? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, I'll put the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you next time.